Hey there, welcome to Caffeinated Crafting. My name is Daniela, known as Caffeinated Gert around the interwebs. Welcome back. It has been a few weeks, actually maybe like a couple of months since I've recorded a podcast. I did actually record one, gosh, this glare is killing me. I'm recording at a different time of day, and so I was trying to give myself a little extra light, but that light is just bugging me. Oh, there. Now there's no glare. Anyway, I may just take the glasses off. We'll see. Should I just take the glasses off? Then I can't see, but I should be able to see what's close at hand, right? Anyway, so I'm Caffeinated Gert. You can find me on Ravelry and Instagram as Caffeinated Gert. That's basically where I like to hang out. This lighting situation is bugging me. I feel like I'm looking to the side. Maybe it's because I have the, do I have the camera on the side? Okay. I think it's because I'm trying not to look at the light. Let's put the light over here. I think that's better. Anyway, I'm going to talk to the iron back there. And that way I think I'm looking straight on. Maybe? I don't know. Feels weird. I can't see. Okay, I'm just gonna take the light off. See, but it makes such a difference. Oh gosh, and now you're wobbly. If I put it down here. See, that glare is driving me bonkers, but I really need the light. Okay, well, we're just gonna make do, okay? Sorry if the glare is too bad. I will try to keep my head so I don't have glare. Anyway, Ravelry, Instagram, Caffeinated Gert. It's been not like busy, but I've been gone most weekends for the last couple of months, or on the weekends that I have been home, there's been a lot going on, so no time to record. I took a couple days off work yesterday and today just to get some things done around the house. And so I had, in my head, I was going to record a podcast while I was off because I need to report, I just needed to do it and get it done and talk to you guys about all the things. And so even though it's later than I wanted to do it during daylight when there's, you know, good light. I'm still going to do it. We're just going to have a little glare on the eyeballs every now and then. How do people use these things? It's supposed to be like a selfie light thing you put on the phone. It was really cheap. And I thought, well, you know, it might work. And it totally does work. It helps with the lighting. But I guess if you don't have glasses on, it wouldn't make a difference. Anyway, so one of the weekends I was gone, I attended Into the Wool Fiber Retreat, which is held at St. Francis in Crossville every year, hosted by Dana of Unwind Yarn Company and Tiffany, her awesome cohort. It was really great. This was the, I think, my third time attending. Yes. First year I taught classes. Second year I helped coordinate. Third year I signed up to go and then broke my leg and couldn't go. Last year I still wasn't comfortable with walking. It's in the woods, lots of gravel and trails and whatnot. This year I went, I didn't take any classes. I sat around and knit like a furious banshee on a sweater. Both of the evenings, well, Friday evening and Saturday evening, I went back to the cabin and just kind of sat in the quiet by myself, and it was great. It was restorative. It was fantastic. You know, my favorite thing about the retreat is the ladies that cook us food. You just show up for breakfast at breakfast time and they feed you, and then you just show up at lunch and they feed you, and then you show up at dinner and they feed you, and there's no cooking and there's no cleaning up. It's freaking fantastic. And they cook, they feed as well. They're always good meals. They really enjoy having us. Anyway, fantastic retreat. It'll be come around again next year in September. I think the 19th, 20, 21, through the 22nd September. Sign-ups will be in February. You can check out more information. Go check out the Into the Wool group on Ravelry and get all the information there. I'll be going again because it was just perfection. The only problem was on Sunday, we had good weather too. Was it too terribly hot? Sunday it rained buckets. So we were like, you know, leaving, carrying our stuff back to the car, and it was raining buckets. But, you know, nobody has control over that. All right, so while I was at the retreat, I worked on a test knit that I no longer have. So Heather of Highland Handmaids and one of my favorite authors, Penny Reed, are putting together a pattern book based on the characters in the Knitting in the City series. The pattern book will be out, I think, November 27th. And I was lucky enough to test knit a sweater out of the book. I knit it up using, I have a whole skein left. Oh, that's not the tag though. Where's my tag? Oh. Okay, well, it's this gorgeous pink. It is Studio Worsted from Neighborhood Fiber Company. I don't remember what the colorway is, but it's on my Ravelry page. You can find it there. It's something with a K and I couldn't pronounce it, which is probably why I can't remember it. This yarn was an absolute delight to knit with. I have never knit a sweater with yarn this nice. I mean, it was just, it was a test knit, so there was a little frogging, a little knitting, a little frogging, a little knitting on occasion. I didn't even care because it was so nice. And I have a whole skein left. So they sent me the yarn, and then I sent the sweater on, but they told me I could keep the leftover, so I don't know. It's going to have to be something good. Oh, it's so squishy. So squishy. So this is my child modeling the sweater, and it doesn't look nearly as good as what it will look like in the book. I'm part of the Sharks of Awesome group, which is the Penny Reed fan club group on Facebook, and she showed sneak peeks of some of the pictures, but I don't know if we're supposed to like share those. So I'm just going to show you the picture that I took. So here's the finished sweater. It's a cable sweater, but it's an easy cable, and it's got little, I don't know if you can see here. So that was the finished picture. Let me show you in like up close picture so you can see the cables better. And well, if I had them, I would show you. I have to go to my Ravelry page. I know they're there. I must have deleted them off my iPad. Let's see what we got here. So it's got the four big cables in the middle, and then it's got little tiny cables running along the side. Looks really good. Oh, that's the wrong button. I'm out of practice. Oh my gosh. Out of practice. My notebook, projects. Let's see. Here's a picture of it on my mannequin so you can see it better. It's probably, oh gosh, with this light. Okay, let's take this away. How about that? There we go. That's what it looks like. See the little tiny cables running along the side, and then you've got the nice big cables on the front. I'm going to knit myself one. This is going to be my Nanny Swimo sweater for November. So I've got to like get on it and get some things done before November hits, because I'm going to knit myself a lovely cabled sweater in November. I knit this sweater in 16 days, and 2 of those days I did not knit at all. So basically 2 weeks. So I think I can knit myself a sweater in 30 days, right? Now this was smaller than my actual size, but I'm going to use, this uses a DK weight. It was a DK, no, worsted weight. And I'm going to use an, I think it's Aran. It's not really bulky. I don't know, it's 128 superwash. I think it might be considered bulky. Anyway, I'm upping the size a little bit because I got girls that need room. So I finished that. Let's see, I have another project I finished that I only have a picture of because it went bye-bye to its recipient. It was some secret knitting that I had been working on, and I finally finished it and mailed it on its merry little way. Do I not have a picture of that here either? What the heck, Daniela? Okay, well, I guess I should have just stayed on Ravelry. Let's go back there. At least I do keep up with my Ravelry pages. Yay me. My notebook projects. So I knit a pillow cover. I didn't make a project page for it. Oh, for goodness gracious. So do I not have any pictures now? I know I had pictures of it. Oh, found it. Okay, so this was yarn, well, it was fiber that I dyed, and I gave it to Brianna of Swoonish, Brianna, and I think my little light's dying already. I didn't last long. Okay, can you like turn back up? Huh. Anyway, she spun it, and then I knit it into a surprise, which was this pillow, and Pistachios being all adorable posing with it. He had needed to give it a cuddle, and then I mailed it back to her. So that was pretty cool that we kind of shared projects back and forth. The back of it looks like this. I didn't have enough of the hand spun to do the whole pillow. Okay, I'm ditching the light. It's not really working for me here. Oh Lord, now we're flashing. Okay, turn off. Turn off? Okay. So I incorporated some blue I had, and I just did a button closure on the back. So there's the back of the pillow, and that's the front. I did a mitered square, so I ended up with, you know, the row increases left holes, and I didn't like how that looked. So I took the back blue color and like crocheted through the holes on up, which filled out the holes, and I, there. And I feel like it kind of added to the interest of the pillow and tied the color from the back to the front. That's actually what it looks like as far as color. There you go. So that is a finished project. I showed you guys my shift, right? I don't know that I showed it to you after it was blocked though. You want to see it blocked? Because it made a difference. And it's right here. There we go. So I blocked this. This is the shift by Andrea Mowry, which is a cowl, but it wears like a shawl, like this. It smells good. I soaked it in Kookaburra, so it's all lavendery delicious. I used hand spun. The red is hand spun, and then the gray and purple is Plucky Sport, and they were One Hit Wonders that I won last year from making hats for kiddos hats. Speaking of hats for kiddos, oh, almost just ripped out my earring. Lord. See all that? Those are all hats for kiddos. Thank you to everyone that has already sent them. You have until the end of this month, October 31st, to get them to me. If you need my address, send me a PM on Ravelry and I will happily share it with you. We have awesome prizes that I showed you, I think last time I recorded. There's an episode. We have one added prize. This is from Color Play Fiber Studio. My lovely friend Valerie has started dyeing yarn. Isn't this pretty? It's so fall-y and lovely. She donated this lovely, it feels really good, as a prize. It is, excuse me, goldfish bowl on her board game base. 80%, 20%, so it's 80% superwash, 20% nylon. It's a 2-ply, 400 yards. So that is added to the big old pile of prizes. While we're at it, could show you some stash enhancement. There's not a whole lot, but I did get myself a skein of Color Play. This is the Grinch Night. It's Christmassy. I always buy Christmas yarn every year to knit myself Christmas socks, and then I never get to it. This year I have a plan though. I have sock tube cranked with intention of socks for me. They're gonna happen this year. So anyway, this is really cool, self-striping. And it is video game base, fingering weight. It's sparkly. 75, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. 75% merino, 20% nylon, 5% stellina. It's a 2-ply, 438 yards of awesome. I don't know where to put this. Here, I'll put it in here. So, at Into the Wool, we got some coupons so we could do some shopping. And we also, of course, had a market. And we had some swaps going on. And I had a goodie in my door, in my bag, my whatchamacallit, my goodie bag. So I have a little stash enhancement from and through Into the Wool. So at Into the Wool, we did a the first prize, we got door prize when we got there, and I got a single of something, I don't remember, but I ended up trading with Memphis Holly because she was more into my single, and I really like this Berry Sparkle. This is hand dyed by Yoriko. It's Fiber Art Studio, and then it's a beautiful berry sparkle. I like it. Has a nice twist. This is my kind of yarn. It is so soft. I've decided I like the product of what I get when I knit with a single, but I don't like knitting with a really skinny yarn, and so singles just, I have to really want it if I'm going to knit with singles. We did a brown bag swap, so you bring a skein of sock yarn in a brown bag, and then everybody gets a number, and you draw, and you get a surprise. And this was my surprise. It is Sophie's Garden. It's from Gershubi. I like me some Gershubi, and it's greens and pinks. It's very springy. I feel like it's very springy. It's 75% merino superwash, 25% nylon, so it'll make nice springy socks or hat, shawl. It's really nice. So that was 2 freebies. Third freebie was in my bag. So I got this lovely project bag that was sewn up by Tiffany. And I got a skein of yarn. And I was excited because it's sport base, because I love Unwind Yarn Company's sport base in particular. It's Woodland Dawn is the colorway. So this was the retreat colorway this year. There it is. Dana's going to be at Fiber in the Burrow this year, and she just put out a new yarn base. It's a tweed, but it's a rainbow tweed. I'm curious about seeing that in person. Rainbow tweed. That was Unwind Yarn Company. Then I got to meet Miss Savvy Skeins, Allie. So nice. This is Sensible Sock. The colorway is Rhapsody. It's 430 yards, which is 80% superwash merino, 20% nylon, and it's absolutely gorgeous. Had to come home with me. Look at these colors. We got the orange, we got the burgundy, we got purple into the blue, and look at the transition there. The orange and green. Oh my gosh. Look at that. Oh. I originally wasn't going to get any Savvy Skeins because I have bought some Savvy Skeins and I've been hoarding it. But I couldn't leave this one there. And then the only other thing I bought at the retreat was this self-striping skein from Round Table Yarns. It's the Merlin colorway. It's 75% superwash, 25% nylon. It's 463 yards. And it's the Merlin base, and it's exchange of winnings. It's a 3 stripes, dark blue, dark purple, and bright yellow green. It's really pretty. And this has to be some of the softest self-striping sock yarn I have ever felt. It's so squishy. It was really nice. So soft. So then I got home and we had coupons. So I did use a couple of my coupons. I bought myself some Show Me yarn and coffee bonbons. It's a self-striping. It's coffee bonbons. How could I not get that, right? This one's 80/20 superwash merino nylon, 400 yards. That should be a very Daniela knit. And lastly, I got some 7th Magpie Studios. It is Mirkwood, is the base, 85% superwash merino, 15% nip. It's 438 yards, and the colorway is Calm Seas. And I have 2 of them because that's gonna, excuse me, that's going to have to probably be a shawl. Or it's going in a sweater. Actually, now that I'm looking at it, because I have a sweater's worth of gray tweed from 2 Guys Yarn that I got last year that I think this would look freaking fantastic with as some color work. So we will see. Regardless, 2 skeins. And that's all the stash enhancement for the last 2 months. 2 months. I mean, really. 2 months. Alright, so the other thing I have finished, let's show you what else I have finished. I finished a hat. This is the Big Fat Cable Hat by someone. What did I do with my iPad? I laid it down somewhere. Big Fat Cable Hat by should just keep Ravelry open because, you know, Justina Chong. Big Fat Cable Hat. There it is. There she is. There we go. Okay. And I knitted out of Hedgehog Fibers, DK, and the colorway, oh Lord, my tag is here somewhere. Oh, there's so much stuff on the table, you just don't even know. I've already spilled my water bottle once. Thought it was right here. Oh, maybe it's in this bag with the other hat that I'm working on. Hey. I was looking for this. No. Oh, it might be in the middle of the ball. Haha! Found it. This is the rest of my ball. It is Hedgehog Fibers and colorways Harajuku, I think. Okay. One of the comments I got when I posted it on Instagram is like, "Oh, you can see that hat from space," and yeah, you totally can, or could maybe. It's pretty darn bright. It is a gift. I'm knitting a. It's not going to be matching, but I'm knitting a hat out of this blue hedgehog, which is the colorway Ink. And it's going to be a prezi together, the pink and the blue. So you may not see them again. But I'm knitting a blue one. I'm trying to decide if I want to knit it the blue just like this. So it's a wedding gift. So like pink, then their colors, this is the color. Well, okay. I expected this to be paler pink. I was expecting not neon pink from the picture online. But knowing the bride, she'll totally rock this. But then the colorways, the wedding colors are blue and pink. Should I knit the same hat for the groom, or should I knit something else? Is the hat too girly, or is it just super girly because it's pink? I think it's just because it's pink. I feel like a guy can, it's a big cable hat. A guy could rock the big cable hat, right? I like the idea of them being the same hat in different colors. Let me know what you think. Leave me a comment. So, that's in here on my to-do list. It's got to get done sooner rather than later. I need to finish that hat probably this weekend. Let's see. The only other thing I have finished is some non-knitting. So I have been showing you off and on my quilt, my sampler pieces when that I have been working on for my quilt guild, where we've gotten different techniques to do and whatnot every month. And I have finished putting my sampler together. And here it is. So I have flying geese. I have tumbling blocks. I have English paper piecing. What have I got there? There's a Dresden plate. That's a crazy quilted heart. That I don't remember what it's called, but I liked making it. In the middle there, woo, in the middle there, I have a pineapple. And I particularly like that I used a piece of woven fabric in the middle. And also on my flying geese, the very first one is woven fabric. This is just a piece of fabric because I needed something to balance the whole thing out and I had a blank spot. And I used this batik throughout, so I thought that was a good idea. This is a trapunto heart. If you look at it, you can see where it's puffy. So it's a squishy heart. And I guess that's it. So I machine quilted it. Not really happy with how that part turned out. But it was my first time quilting something small, larger than like a mug rug or placemat kind of thing. So I'll take it with a grain of salt. The neck of my machine, I have a little machine, isn't very big. So, I don't know. I'll have to work with that. And the back is all pink. And I bound it in that same batik that I used for the extra piece. It's the same as this right here, which is also used in here. And there's a little bit of it in here. No, it might be it. No, there's a little piece right here. So I kind of used that throughout. My favorite part though, so I did not enjoy the machine quilting very much. But I went back and hand quilted a little bit with embroidery thread. So you can see the blue around here. That's done here. I'll show you the back. It's easier to see on the back. So I embroidered or quilted with embroidery. See the heart and the back? I did it there. And I did it on the other heart, the crazy quilted heart, and around the Dresden plate. And in my, there's a fuzz. I got fuzz off my quilt. This is my English paper piecing. I quilted around one area of that. And this is my flying geese, and it's white. Can you see that? Yeah, you can see it. And I really enjoyed that process. It was very kind of just calming, very zen, just very, I felt kind of like spinning, I think, just little stitches at a time. So maybe with the next project, I'll hand quilt it and see what happens. Maybe that's just my thing. I'm not really, I wouldn't be doing like, you know, intricate quilting. If I wanted like fancy quilted, I'll just pay somebody to long arm quilted, because that's not going to happen. But I'm very into just functional quilting, because like even with this, you can see I just quilted it where it needed to be quilted to hold it together. Like on this, I went around the edges. Probably see that better from the back too, huh? So see where I went around it like a maze, and then I went around the different motifs, and then I went back and did the hand, because there was no good way to go around that with my machine, which is why I ended up doing those portions by hand. So it was very, so you can see where I quilted it. It was very geometric. And I tend to like more geometric quilts anyway, so I don't know, we'll see. This whole sampler was a ginormous learning experience, because every technique on here was new. I had never done trapunto, had never even heard of trapunto. I've never done flying geese. I had never done English paper piecing. Never done a crazy quilt, so the heart was new. What else is on there? The little stacky corner things on the bottom. I can't remember what it's called. I had never done any of these, and so these have all been tried since April when I joined the Quilt Guild. So I feel really accomplished for finishing it. I'm mailing this to my favorite auntie for Christmas. I know she'll appreciate it. She loves that I learn new things and share them with her. I wish she wasn't so, she's in Germany. I wish she wasn't so far away. She would be my one relative she's my one relative that's crafty, like sewing and knitting crafty. And she would be so much fun to include in my crafty circle. Yeah. Now all we have things that are in progress. Okay, we're down to the in progress. We've already done the whole, this is what we bought and this is what we finished. Now let's see what we're working on. I showed you the navy blue hat. Well, I showed you the yarn. I didn't actually show you the hat. Well, right now I have ribbing. I'm ready to start the cables if you guys think cables are cool for the guy. And it's in a bag that I made. Has a little woven piece on the bottom. That was a leftover. Excuse me. In my fringe bag, I have a hat. I am knitting out of, ooh, let's not drop my stitches, because of course I'm in the middle of a row, because that's how, well, it's a hat. I guess it's gonna be in the middle of a row, right? I am knitting with Knit Picks, something or other. What is it called? Knit Picks Swish Worsted, which is 100% superwash merino, and cobblestone heather, and honey. And I am knitting a Pokemon Go Team Instinct hat for myself. Check me out. This hat is on Ravelry. And let's hope I can find it quickly. So I don't think I made a project page yet. Ooh. I'm pretty sure I haven't made a project page yet. I just started this hat yesterday. Yep, nope, okay. Patterns. Actually, might be is it one of the last? It was one of the last patterns I looked at, so I could get to it easy. Thank you, Ravelry, for having my back. It is the Pokemon Go trainer hat by Melody Nordberg, and it looks like so. So mine, instead of black, I'm using gray, and I'm not going to put the stripe at the top. I'm just gonna make the rest of the hat gray. So I'll just have the half Pokeball on the top of my head. Oh, you know, on the brim of my hat. So this is what I've got going on. Knitting on the body. Here is my Pokeball. So Sunday is Beldam Community Day, and I am planning, it's only supposed to be 54 degrees, so it'll be cool enough. I am planning to rock this hat come Sunday. It's kind of rolly funny. Well, it's a roll brim kind of thing. I actually ended up picking up and knitting some more. One piece of advice if you knit this hat. Because it has color work and it's a roll brim hat, when you do your color work, if you start the color work where it says, it rolls up and you see the yellow from underneath. That's not good. So if you decide to knit this hat, oh, I know why it's more roll. I did an I-cord bind off. So I should have started. This would be the end of my hat, but which means this would roll up, and one, I would lose some of my Pokeball, and two, you would see this, and that's ugly. So what I ended up doing is I picked up the edge stitches and knit 4 rows, or picked up and then knit 3 rows, and then I did an I-cord bind off. Now I'm wondering if that was a good idea, but it'll get blocked. I think it'll be fine. I did an I-cord bind off so it would be stretchy enough, and because evidently that's what I was in the mood to do. So if you knit this hat, what I would suggest and what I will do for the next time I knit this hat is knit, cast on, and knit at least, let's see, 2, 4, 6. Knit 6 or 7 rows, 8 rows, before you do your color work part. Otherwise, it kind of gets lost. Because see, even now, it rolls up enough that it's almost trying to hide it. I'm going to block that and hope it'll lay down some. But, or next time maybe I'll do a ribbed hem and then do my color work and finish the hat out. Next time I might knit like my version of a hat and just put this chart in. It'd be really easy to put in a different hat. So if you have a hat you like and you want to just shove this chart on it, easy peasy. But yeah. So charcoal and honey. And that is floating around in my fringe bag. Do you love my cool SoFlo swag? Look, it's a mousy, or maybe it's a kitty. It's a kitty. It's a kitty cat Wonder Woman. So there's that. Then I have going a hat for the husband. It's in my super cool Amy Beth Fat Squirrel bag, and it's a hat. I am knitting the, what's it called again? Vertizontal Slouchy. It's a free pattern by Laura Jones of Crooked Kitchen Yarns. Here's what it's called, and here is the author of the pattern. Yeah. And I am knitting it out of some absolutely delicious black Trillium Fibers lilt sock. It's 85% superwash merino, 15% superwash mulberry silk. Colorway is indigo. I bought this at Middle Tennessee Fiber Fest to knit something for my husband. He is getting this hat. So far, I have this much of the brim done. You knit the brim and then you knit the top. You pick up and knit the top. It feels so good. It's so slow knitting. It's on size 1 needles. I really love him. I'm hoping this will get done for Christmas. And if not, it'll get done when it gets done. I'm not gonna stress over it. He has plenty of hats. But I better put my pattern back in here. Did I show you a picture of what it actually looks like? That would help, wouldn't it? This is what it looks like once it's done. Now that I've pulled all these out, I realize my Ravelry project page is totally not up to date, and I will work on that. I thought I was doing well, not so much. Okay, in this lovely bag, that was from You So and So, from my friend Brianna gifted me that a couple years ago. Love the peacock. It's one of my favorites. This is a sock blank that I dyed a while back. It's purple and green and sparkly. And I have got a pair of socks on the needles. And it's doing this sort of weird stripey thing. I needed socks on the needles. My intention was to work on these at the retreat, but then the test knit fell in my lap and they didn't get any love. It's how it goes, right? I also cast this on to knit on while I was at the retreat. It's in my Whimsy Stitches bag with the little sheepy on the outside. In it I have, this is from Yoth Yarns, Yarn on the House. It's their sister base, big sister base. It's DK weight. It's 80% merino, 10% cashmere, 10% nylon, and it's in the Spring Water colorway. I also have in here, from my very first knit crate, Unwind Yarn wools, the prickly pear colorway. I have both of my balls in here. There's two. They're gradients. So one's balled from the inside, one's from the outside. And I am knitting another shift. So it's barely cast on. It's in here somewhere. Oh, it's so small I can't find it. So I've cast it on, and I'm knitting the prickly pear, one from the dark end and one from the light end. And then this will be my third color. Something just fell. Oh, my tag. So it's barely cast on. I cast it on so I could work on it at the retreat, which then I did not work on at the retreat because the only thing I knit while I was there was the sweater. The sweater, by the way, does not have a name yet. So I don't know what the name will be. I tried to get it out of Heather, but she wouldn't spill the beans. In my head, it fits Ashley. In my head, it's the Ashley sweater, so that's what I named it on Ravelry. It's the Ashley sweater. Let's see, in this Whimsy Stitches bag, I think this was my, well, I know this is my second Whimsy Stitches bag ever, but it's got to be my favorite. I love this bag. In this bag, I have a big honkin' skein of Miss Babs Yowza in the Deep Sea Jellyfish, right? Oh, I got it right. Deep Sea Jellyfish colorway. Deep Sea Jellyfish. And I am knitting a dragon scale cowl. You know, I think it's gotten a little love since the last time I showed it to you. It is looking like so. Has some nice, it's hard to hold because it's all floppy. It's floppy. Just has a nice little texture. Let's see, we got, it's a free pattern on Ravelry. Here's an up close of what the texture looks like. And it's from Manos del Uruguay. And the name is actually in Spanish. Is Escama del Dragon Cowl. And anyway, it translates to dragon scale cowl. And that will get done at some point. It has gotten a little love, so that's progress. And look, now I have a bunch of stitches that are not on the needle where they belong. I'm good with that today. What is the deal, yo? There's no, this was originally for an Ilvermorny project, but that was back in May and I didn't finish it, so now it can just get done whenever. Whatever. Let's see. One more thing? I think that's it. One more thing. All right, so in my Whimsy, no, it's a You Sew and Sew bag. It's my Halloweeny bag. Isn't it adorable? That's my kind of monster. I don't like scary movies. But I have a sock. Woo woo. Finished it this evening. I still need to weave in all my ends. There are multiple ends because this is from a sock blank. Not sock blank. Tube. Sock tube. Do you remember where I had sock tubes cranked? This is my first finished sock. So here's the second one out of this particular tube. So far it still looks like a tube. I have picked up the stitches on the end because I split it down the middle. So this is one half and this is from the second half. Now you'll notice this is shorter. See? So what I did is I knit the cuff and then I measured, I think it was 7 inches down because these are for a man. So 7 inches down, I put in a heel and then I had my husband try it on and measured to see where his toe would hit. And that's where I put a marker. I took the marker off and put it up here because I needed it for something else. But so then I cut it off there and knit a toe, and with any luck, these should fit beautifully. Certainly should, as long as the toe was the right length, and I'm sure it was by what I measured. And I still have this much left over of my sock tube, so I'm going to save the ends because I'll have another one like this, and then I've got, I know I have at least one more tube that has 72 stitches, so I might combine them and make a Franken sock. And if not, if I don't combine them, this will just be a Franken sock. So this is enough almost for a foot or a leg, whichever way I decide to do it. So this blue is waste yarn, so I can either make this the leg of the sock and then knit a foot, or I could knit a toe and then knit up. Probably be easier to have this as the leg of the sock and knit a foot. Easiest for me because then I can just use my regular dimensions. But I might combine multiple tubes and see what I get. I don't know. I have this to play with. But I'm pretty excited. That was a quick sock. So this is Fishnets yarn in the Nito Bandito colorway. Fishnets yarn. And the heel, toes, and cuffs are Plucky Sport. And it's a one-hit wonder. It's actually the leftovers from my shift. And I have this much more, which should be plenty for the other side. And yes, I know it doesn't have nylon in it, but these are going to my dad, who only wears his socks around the house, not in shoes. So, and I'm not really worried about him blowing them out. So he'll have nice, soft, cashmere-ish merino heels. I think it's cashmere merino, if I remember correctly. I could totally be wrong about that though, but it feels really good. So, second sock. Want to finish, I would like to finish these socks. Then I need to have another sock project planned for his girlfriend, and then those Christmas presents will be done. My aunt's is done, so then I can ship my Germany packages off for Christmas early, which is what I like to do. And then I can focus on what I need to make for here. And with my mom and them, we're doing a Dirty Santa. So my plan is to use one of the lady socks tubes and splitting them and making a short sock and a taller sock, like 2 pairs of socks basically out of one tube. I think I can easily get a pair of short socks and a pair of regular socks out of the 64 stitch tube, because they're longer than the 72 stitch tube, obviously. And I'm going to wrap them up together, and then we're playing Dirty Santa, so then they can fight over the socks. It works out because all of us ladies that will be playing wear the same shoe size. Otherwise this plan would not work. But as that, it'll work. It's getting cold, so yay for that. We're finally not like, you know, burning our buns off. The heat, the summer has been so hot. So finally getting cooler weather, which is really nice. So now I'm ready to work on my scrappy sock yarn blanket again. I did do the swap again with Anders Mills Knits. She organized it, and so I've sent my package out. Yay for that. I'm going to do a local swap of the same kind of thing with one of my friends. I need to get hers together, but I'll see her plenty before December 1st. So I'm looking forward to finishing up my Christmas knitting for Germany, the wedding hat let me know about those cables and my Pokemon Go hat. I'd like to finish those 3 things by the end of October. I need to finish those by the end of October so things can get mailed. And then November, I will be knitting a sweater. And then December, I'm looking forward to knitting my little squares every day. I'm just going to be working on the blanket and take it easy. That's my plan. It may not work out that way, but you know. I do have some sewing projects planned for Christmas gifts, and I'll need to do that at some point. But I'll make that work. All right, so I think that's it. I'm hoping I have better luck getting this episode onto my laptop. I think I mentioned I did record an episode like right before Into the Wool because I cast on a bunch of stuff and I talked about going to the retreat and what all I cast on. Basically the same stuff you just saw, only now there's a little progress on some of it. I couldn't get it to go to my laptop, and then finally I was like, you know, it's all just barely cast on. It's not a good episode. I'm just not even gonna bother, so I didn't. So this time there's actual content, so I hope it works. Please remember you have until October 31st to get me hats for kiddos. I plan to record Friday, November 2nd to award prizes. Got tons of hats already, and I'd love to have some more. You are entered to win a prize once for each. For 2 hats, you get 1 entry. There we go. So, got that. I'm going to be super excited to deliver all these hats to Allie and Vicky. I think that's it. Keep your fingers crossed that this episode moves onto the laptop and onto YouTube without a problem. And I will catch you guys in 2 weeks. Bye.